Who the hell cares?
That's a liberal.
It's like saying, would you rather have wine or water?
Wine, a half inch means a lot sometimes.
Nobody likes to eat crow. Right.
Now I'm starving.
How much is the economy today? It's that much.
This pumpkin latte sucked, and I want to speak to your manager.
Objection, hearsay. Objection, leading. Objection, hearsay.
Where is that woman when Biden speaks?
Get out of here. His name is pronounced Joni. And that's the end of it.
No,
Hi, Ann.
let's make that lower. There you go.
Yes. All the men out there will be appreciative if you make that lower. How are you today, my darling?
I'm good, my mommy. How are you?
I'm actually really good. I'm hoping to be very entertaining tonight and very informative at the same time. So, how
Are
about
you drunk?
I'm not. I haven't been drunk in a long time. Hello, Billy Nolan. How are you? And Francine, how you doing? And Lorraine, yay! How are you? And my mother, who's going to have a
grandma.
birthday on Monday. Hello, Mama.
Hi, Grandma.
Nick 40 is with us. Oh, good. Well, we have a few people, not a lot, but a few, and hopefully others will catch up. Well, we got the professor coming in. How are ya? What do you say? I say, what a freaking week. Did you see what's going on this week, Jen?
With what?
Well, with the presidential campaign, because that's all we kind of talk about anymore.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. I mean, did you see Clinton? Did you see Obama? Did you see? We have all those clips.
Yeah.
Howdy, Sean. And our OG, Lucille Chavone. How are you, Lucille? Hold on. Let me get my bell. Yes, happy Tuesday indeed. So, what was your week like, Jenny?
Busy work. It's the same thing all the time.
Same
I did hang
thing.
out with the Mets this weekend, the 86 Mets. I got to hang out with Keith Hernandez, and we saw Doc Gooden, and we saw Santana we hung out with. And we really hung out with Santana. And who else? Del Strawberry. And we did a lot of sneaking. We didn't have super tickets. We had regular tickets. But we cut lines because we don't wait. We're old.
Well, you're good at that. Well, wasn't Keith Hernandez your favorite, or was it Ron Darling?
Ron Darling, who I will see with Sid Fernandez, my friend Sid, on November 16th.
Oh, cool. Excellent. So you had a Mets weekend. All right. Let's go Mets. Yes. We're Mets. I'm Mets and Jets. She's Mets and Raiders. So go figure. Well, it sounds like that you had a lot of fun.
What did you do?
What did I do this week? I raked pine straw and did some things around the house. I didn't do anything really great. Took the dogs to the dog park so that they could stretch their legs, and there was nobody at the dog park. So it was great because we could put both dogs into the same pen. And I sat on the bench and they sat under my legs the whole entire time that we were at the dog park. I threw a frisbee, hit Sophie in the head. She didn't go after it. She just moaned a little bit.
They're not real dogs.
Yeah, really. Well, that's your dog. You brought her to us. She was brain damaged from the house she came from. So Dallas Cowboys. Oh my gosh. I got to tell you.
Cowgirls.
The Cowboys. I used to be a super duper Raiders fan, and so no Raiders fan can like the Cowboys, as you know. And so, yeah. Raiders suck, or their fans do, but not you, Jen. Well, the Raiders definitely suck, and so did the Jets.
Well, I haven't watched football in 2 years. I refuse since they kneel. The Raiders don't, but I'm not watching it.
Yeah. Well, Mets and Eagles. Oh, okay. Eagles. Yeah. Well, put up your favorite team. Let's hear what everybody is thinking. And I will regale you, Jennifer, with this very humorous clip while everybody is posting their favorite teams. Here we go. Let's see. Here it is.
I gave her a $20 bill.
For what?
For anything. I don't care. Whatever it's for, but she can give me my money back if she ain't going to do nothing with it.
Okay, were you planning to buy some drugs
Yes,
or
I
something?
was.
What kind of drugs were you wanting to buy?
Rock.
Rock.
Yes, I was.
You gave her $20 to buy.
I gave her $20. She gave me some plaster.
And now you want your $20 back
Yes, I do.
because she didn't supply you with crack cocaine.
Well, if she shouldn't give me nothing, no plaster or nothing, she should have said no.
What's going on?
She come around here a while ago. There used to be some people that right over there that used to sell.
Yeah.
We were sitting out here on the porch in some church. So she said, y'all have anything to buy? I said, no, baby, we don't have nothing to sell. So she left one around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Then she come back 10 minutes later, holler, give me my money back up. No, you ain't bought nothing from here. Don't disrespect my child. This is my child.
Mm-hmm.
I don't sell crack. I'm a prostitute.
I don't sell crack. I'm a prostitute. Bad Google review for that one.
Old episode of Cops. You gotta love it. Gotta love it. Mets and Raiders, Billy Nolan. Okay, he's like you. Yankees. Oh, yes, I know that about Angela Rickers.
I don't like them.
We're Steelers household. Who don't you like? The Yankees?
No.
Oh. Hello, Beer Nut. How are you? Good to have you from Rumble. Thanks for being on. I know it's so hard for him, but he does a good job of being here every week because he's on his way or coming home from work.
And we're so hard to watch. So
yes, it's true. Prostitute that sells drywall. Well, she wanted rock. She got rock. Okay, well, of course I had to play that. Oh, wait, Andrew Dorman, Dallas Cowboys and America are America's team. Let's go Yankees, Mets, and all enjoy your baseball. You know, Andrew is so equal and so courteous to everybody. He's not going to offend anybody. God bless you, Andrew.
Well, I will. The Yankees are terrible people. Go ahead.
Oh,
they buy their way into winning.
Oh, wow. Oh, we got some fighting words going on here. My cousin was the pitcher for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Oh.
Wait, Nolan. Well, first name Keith?
Ryan
Keith?
Nolan? No.
Ryan Nolan. Maybe Ryan. Yeah. Dodgers? Wow, that was forever ago. I don't remember the Dodgers. I just remember my grandfather was really pissed off when they left Brooklyn. How are you, Debbie? Good to have you with us. Irv Palika. Oh.
We might be Republicans, but no one said we're smart.
Oh my God. Irv Palika. Oh, man, I don't know why we didn't put that together. He was my cousin. Okay, I guess on your mother's side, I hope. Irv Palika. Okay, well, I don't know him, but I'm sure my grandfather did or was a follower. But at any rate, so from the sublime to the ridiculous, I figured that we would play the clip that we played, the Cops clip, because we wanted to lead into this.
So you're now no longer are you necessarily keeping those private files in some file cabinet that's locked in the basement of the house. It's on your laptop, and it's then therefore up here in this cloud that exists above us, right? Mm-hmm. It's no longer in a physical place.
It's like where my brain is, up here in this cloud of nothing. It's where it lives.
Oh, gotta love her. Gotta love her. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing that the stuff she comes up with. I can't.
Therefore.
Therefore, right. If I say therefore, I'll sound really smart. Yes, I know, was a follower. Yes, that was my mother's father was a follower of the Dodgers.
Well, he could still be a follower. Well, the Dodgers are, they're not Brooklyn Dodgers anymore, but
Yeah.
he could be following them from up there.
Just because he's dead doesn't mean he can't be a follower, but because the Dodgers aren't around anymore, he can't be a
He's
follower.
up there, somewhere up there for, he can follow them. He's up there in a cloud with God. He's up there.
Hello, Cookie. How are you, Cookie? Sorry I'm late. My pastor down here was doing a live on Citizens of Staten Island and Carla. Oh, how cool. Very nice. There's no brain activity at all. None. The stars tell it all. Yes, exactly. The cloud is made up of surface attached to the internet, not an air balloon. Sean, it's a cloud, so therefore it must be above our heads. It's certainly over her head. Let me be clear. Yeah, exactly. Let me be clear. We take things very seriously here. Enjoy your Dodgers, and my father would not let me forget who the Dodgers were, so I didn't. Oh, good. No, I was a follower.
Down here. Down here.
I swear I'm not drinking, but I can't follow. I don't know. Hey, Joe. How are you? Thanks for joining us. Let's be clear. Yes, let's be clear. And we take things very seriously. Every time I hear let's be clear or we take things very, very seriously, I know a big lie is coming. Floating data centers in the clouds. Yes, they're strung up by huge cranes, or maybe hot air balloons, or maybe fairies are flying them up. Oh my God, I can't. Well,
transgender fairies with beards.
With beards. She comes from a middle class family. Yes, she does indeed. Hey, Maria Lupo, how are you, darling? Okay. So anyway, so from the cloud to trying to work a rifle. Here's the thing. I've decided that Donald Trump does not need to campaign anymore. He just doesn't. What he needs to do is just sit back, be quiet, and let the Democrats campaign for Kamala and let Kamala speak, because they're doing more damage to her than anything he could say or do or tell or whatever. They're trying to repackage masculinity, right? And they're trying to say that Doug Emhoff and Tim Walz are, the new masculine man. You could be soft, but you could be strong. So they did a press op where he went hunting for pheasant. And here's him trying to unload his gun.
My theory, and it never fits quite right. Never fits quite right. It's not quite right. How do you give it back?
Governor, what kind of gun is it?
This is a Beretta A400. I bought it when I was shooting a lot of trap, because it has a kind of their patented thing, a kickoff. So when you get old, it doesn't hurt your shoulder as much.
I bought it 5 minutes ago at the hunting corral. Never shot a gun, ever. But I was in war. I was in battle.
In battle and weapons of mass destruction. Oh my gosh!
He was the cook. He had a spoon. That was a weapon. He stirred the pot all day. He was the chef in the army.
Oh my God, he's probably lethal with that. Very strange how they are destroying their own party. I'm thinking they are doing it on purpose, especially what Bill Clinton said. Are they that stupid, or is it deliberate? Oh yeah, well, we have that clip and we're going to show it in a minute.
He said that to deflect and make it Biden's fault, so that it's not her fault. They're so stupid.
They are very stupid. He was trying to load the gun in the ejection port instead of from the bottom.
That's okay. What she said. How could you not say that?
I thought he was trying to unload it. I don't know why he would be unloading it in the middle of the field, but it looked to me like he was dropping, the shells into his hand, and I was trying to figure
He
out
probably
why.
was.
Maybe so he didn't actually shoot anything. I don't know. Is all I know is it looked really bad. It looked bad and it looked silly and it was contrary to everything. But here's the thing. I don't understand why all of a sudden is it okay for them to play with guns? You know, aren't they the ones that don't like guns? Aren't they the ones that are always talking about the Republicans and the gun banning guns and everything else? But now it's okay for them to play with guns. I mean, do they think we're that dumb? And also, he's out there literally shooting pheasants. Well, he would. There's also other stuff. He's picking up his hunting dog. Well, not his hunting dog, a hunting dog. And the dog was like trying to escape because I'm sure that dog never, ever, ever got picked up because
met him or ever met him. It wasn't his.
I mean, it was faux pas after faux pas after faux pas. And I just don't understand, why in the world they would do that, especially with their base, being so anti-gun. Just kind of weird. It's cringy. The whole thing was cringy. It just looked like he didn't know what he was doing. I heard this. Yeah. Okay. So, again, don't know if it's true or not true. Supposedly, there's a whole thing about a young man who was invited to a sleepover at Wall's house, and he's now coming out with some information that is not going to bode well for Tim.
They'll blame Trump.
Yeah, it's Trump's fault. He didn't know how to load the gun he pretended to own. Yeah, exactly. I didn't look it up. Is a Beretta what you use to go pheasant hunting? Because that's what they were doing. I thought when you hunt pheasant, you use a shotgun, and I didn't think a Beretta was, but maybe I'm wrong. The old Jen is back. Keep on going. Oh, okay. Grandma says you're being funny. It's okay for them, just not for us. Ah! Of course, Colleen. Of course. We're the wrong party to be allowed to own guns. Remember when Biden said he goes outside and shoots his double-barrel shotgun in the air? Could you imagine Biden with a gun? Pick it up.
His finger guns, not real guns.
If he could get it up over his shoulder, he'd just fall down with it. I can't. They're saying now he's undermining Kamala's campaign, trying to make us believe they're gun guys too and won't take ours. Yeah, lull us into a sense of safety, and then they're going to come.
He was trying to relate to the white male, they said, but you can't get much whiter than Tim Walz, so I don't know.
It's the truth.
He's the whitest white man.
But he's like that dad.
The stupidest whitest white man.
He's like that dad who, you don't want your friends to come in and meet. Like you're having a party and dad walks in and starts telling dad jokes.
With his Hawaii shirt. He reminds me of a really, really bad used car salesman.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, you want this Chevy?
Yeah. Or the high school teacher that tried to be friends with you and tried to be all cool in school.
Now, so it doesn't.
Oh, okay. All the left does is shoot the shit, period. Oh, good one. He's too white. Yeah. Did you see their commercial appealing to men? The one, yes, I did. It was a bunch of actors and it was ridiculous. And I just don't see how that's going to actually appeal to men, but okay. Just like
boobs will appeal to men and beer.
Yeah, right, exactly. If you want to appeal to men,
bend over, voting with her ass. And then you could put a circle of her voting for Kamala and Tim Walz with her little mini dress on like Kelly Bundy, bend voting. Then maybe you'll appeal to them.
It's the truth.
I never saw another man send a video like that to their friend. Oh, look at this.
Yeah. Oh, don't you feel like a man now? Yeah, look at this guy. If Tim Walz lights himself on fire and or shoots himself out of a cannon, maybe you could appeal to men. But that, no. What's the matter for you? It's the opposition party who's not supposed to have guns. Yes, I got it. The Dems lying has gotten insane. They are very, very stupid. It's gotten so out of hand. Well, we're seeing it in the polls, right? I mean, Trump, jumps up 4 or 5 points. Now Michigan's back in play again.
Who are they asking?
Well, it's always usually oversampled Dems, always. So if they're neck and neck, then I can't imagine that Trump is going to lose this. And Georgia today, first day of early voting, largest turnout ever.
That's scary.
No. They made a big appeal for Republicans to vote early. So
They sent me a card now to scan, and I'm like, what? Where's my voting card? Because I threw it out and I shouldn't have, because now there's probably some illegal migrant walking around with it. But I should have cut it up, and I didn't, and I'm pissed at myself.
We'll go down to the Board of Election. It's around the corner from your house. You could get everything taken care of. If Jen was out there, I would have watched the whole video. Oh, yeah. Jen's a pretty good shot. Jerry Kruger. Thumbs up. Thanks for joining us, Jerry. I wasn't sure what that was. I didn't know if he was giving us the finger or thumbs up. So thank goodness it was thumbs up. It wouldn't be unusual for somebody to give us the finger. It's a joke watching them. It's over. Trump is going back to the White House. I think you're right, Debbie. Early voting in Texas starts next week. I can't wait. Here too, on the 21st. I don't know
why anyone early votes.
Yeah, because you lock your vote in, because they mess around with the booths on election day. Lock your vote in. Go early. Don't give yourself an excuse to miss it. Go early. I'm going early.
See, I think it makes time for them to mess with it.
No, it doesn't. Once it's there, it's there. They can't. Look, if they're going to mess with it, they're going to mess with it. And that we don't get the results anymore on the same day.
Well,
so
next it's going to be like calling in like American Idol.
Yeah, right, at home. All right. So Kamala is going to get things done as president. Listen to what one of her priorities is.
You know how those lids are, because I'm just going to speak, okay? So this is it. So you know how those lids on those Starbucks cups, they're white, right? And so if you wear lipstick, they get all over the lid. And so then I find myself in meetings if I'm the only woman, and and so I keep taking the lid off and having my cup out so that I don't have that big lipstick mark on the lid. So I said, can we do something about the color of the lid?
She left lipstick marks on everyone's junk in DC to get where she is, but that's what she's worried about.
Oh my God. I knew you were going to say it. And then they decide to put Bill Clinton out there to campaign for her. Think about it. The biggest running joke commentary about her is how she got in the position she's in today by leaving lipstick on junk. And then they send the guy who had sex with an intern or got blowjobs from an intern in the White House, in the Oval Office. They think it's a good idea to send him out to talk on her behalf.
Well, they don't have anyone else.
How do you not think about this? How do you not say, wait, hold on. What's the commentary going to be on this? Maybe not. And then he goes out and he does this to her.
You had a case in Georgia not very long ago, didn't you? They made an ad about a young woman who'd been killed by an immigrant. Yeah, well, if they'd all been properly vetted, that probably wouldn't have happened.
I always said it. He's a true Republican. He really is a Republican. I loved him when he ran. I loved him when he was president.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. How do you do that? They said he was trying to say that if Trump if the Republicans had passed the border bill that
The
guy
border bill
went
came
out.
after the borders were welded open.
100%. It came this year. It came this year. Let me see. Hold on. God's all right. Early voting in Texas. All right, we got that one. God saved his life twice, and not for nothing, he's going to be our next president. From your mouth to God's ears. I saw a commercial this morning that said Trump is cutting Social Security. It's we don't even vet commercials anymore. We just let it go. They want to fact check him left and right, but they don't want to. They'll let you say anything in the commercial.
I'm banned from TikTok for 10 years from running ads, but
yeah. It's unbelievable. And that's who they are voting for. Yes, indeed. Is she talking to people in a cannabis store sampling the products? Yeah, because she thinks that that's going to get blackmail voters. I mean, really? How
stereotypical.
Oh my gosh, I can't even. Hello, ladies. Love your laughter. Thanks, Corey. Thanks for joining us.
The best is she went on Howard Stern, and he said, I can't stand him anymore. He said that SNL has to stop making fun of Kamala because it's making her look bad. They've been doing it to Trump since day one. Every single show in creation makes fun of that man.
Yep.
They have to stop making fun of her.
Yeah, it's killing him. It's killing him whenever he sees anybody talking bad about her. He also said, I'm voting for you, but I'd also vote for that wall over there rather than vote for Trump. So really, I mean, so it doesn't matter, Kamala, if you're running or not. I'll vote for the wall rather than vote for Trump. I don't know what the hell happened to him. Well, first of all, he became like a little bitch pussy. I mean, the guy who used to make his living with girls jumping on trampolines in his office and mud wrestling and jello wrestling. I mean, and he's, talking about, he was all in his feelings in the interview, and his psychiatrist, and what the hell happened?
When I worked at Sirius, he had his own wing. We could see it from our studio, and he would leave through the back door and didn't want to talk to anybody. Everything was too much for him.
Yeah, too much. He was mistaken for Biden. Yes, I saw that. He was
and Hillary Clinton.
Oh my God, I can't. I can't. I know you can't. Neither can I. Bring out Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy Carter.
That poor man. They took him to watch something for his birthday. He looked dead.
Oh, it's such a sin. Such a sin.
It's like, leave the man alone.
Yeah. They keep parading the Obamas and the Clintons. Yeah, we have some clips. We're going to get to that. Get him a cough drop. Yeah, he's in bad shape. They sent Obama to talk to black men about being sexist if they don't vote for Kamala. His mother was white, and so was Kamala's mom. So Howard Stern looked like he was going to cry. It was like he became really.
Beth did it to him. Beth. It's all Beth's fault.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Every TV station, radio host, magazine, and paper got into politics when Trump first ran. Yeah, you're right about that. Okay, so here's a Harris volunteer in Florida. This was a bad idea.
You ain't welcome here, buddy.
Are you crazy?
Those squares for Harris. Where? You're not welcome here. Go wear your shiny hat somewhere else.
You ain't even from here.
How much did they pay you to do that?
That must be a lonely existence. You're walking in a parade totally by yourself.
Someone definitely paid him to do that. I bet he was a Republican. Someone gave him $20 to walk down the street with this sign. He's probably drunk.
I'm sorry.
Or dyslexic and he couldn't read the sign. One or the other. Or both.
Oh, God. Yes. Cute little man purse. Gluten for
gluten. And he hates bread too. And Trump.
He lost the bet. I mean, really, what would possess you to do that? It's crazy. Oh my God. All right, so let's listen to Obama and then let's listen to some black men.
We have not yet seen the same kinds of energy and turnout in all quarters of our neighborhoods and communities as we saw when I was running. Now, I also want to say that seems to be more pronounced with the brothers.
Barack Obama, I need to holler at you. Sit down so I can holler at you and look at me when I'm talking to you, okay? So it took me a day to respond because I wanted to give you time to think about how stupid you sound when you say you are ashamed that black people are not supporting Kamala Harris. I'm not voting for Kamala Harris. I'm not doing it. And a lot of black people are not doing it. And you want to know why, Barack Obama? Because don't nobody like her. And people realize now that voting for somebody based on the color of their skin is not going to help them. It's not a great idea. You know why black people want to vote for Trump and not Kamala? Huh? Because they realize that Trump actually cares about this country and Trump will do what's best for everybody, including black people. And black people realize that you bamboozled and tricked them into voting for you based on the color of your skin. Now black people realize that that's not a great idea because we had a black president who didn't do a damn thing for black people. Trump did more for black people than you. You bamboozled and tricked black people into voting for you. Well, vote for me because I'm black. And you made black people think you were going to do all these magical things. And you were promising all this false hope. And didn't do nothing. Nothing.
I cut that rant down. He went on for 5 minutes.
Bamboozled.
Bamboozled.
Great. But they want to end racism. We can't be divided.
Yeah. Well,
but you're dividing.
You know what we're seeing? Well, you know why we're seeing? Obama has been running the show for Biden through Susan Rice and plans on running the show for Kamala.
Well, he's doing a terrible job.
Yeah, right. Well, he didn't do a great job when he was president either. But here's the thing. We're learning, and they don't understand it, but we know it. Republicans know it. The only thing, only color that people really care about is green. They don't care about everybody else's color. And black men care just as much about border security, the safety of their wife and kids, the safety of themselves. They care about the economy, their money, and the thing is too.
So do Mexicans and Puerto Ricans and other Venezuelans and Africans and everyone.
See, let me just get this thought out of my brain. So we have done so well in this country of integrating all of the different cultures, Italian, Irish, Black, Hispanic, Chinese. We've done so well that now the majority of people, right, are middle class. And they are the ones that are taking it up the rear end from the government. But the Democrats continue in their head to believe that minorities need their help, that they are low educated, low thinking, and they want everything for free. And the middle class is going, hell no. And what brought that to the forefront was this new wave of immigrants coming in, getting everything. That is what pissed off
and
people.
Sending their illegally made money back to their countries instead of paying taxes.
And that is what pissed off the middle class. And that's why it doesn't matter what they throw at Trump. They remember what life was like under Trump, even during the pandemic. And they are not going to do this anymore. They're not going to play the game. They are hemorrhaging registration like nobody's business. They have lost millions millions of registrants out of their party. And that's because they don't realize that we as a society have lifted up every single culture to the point that they're all now middle class and they're all equally getting screwed by the government, and they are tired of paying for
Well,
it.
that's what I'm afraid of. All of these illegal migrants, they have all of their new fake information, and in the little pamphlets they give them, I'm afraid they're going to use them to vote.
Well, they may be, and that's why you saw what happened. Virginia purged their voting rolls, and the Department of Justice, the DOJ, went after them, saying that they couldn't do it. California, they're allowing migrants to vote, and it is against. At first, I didn't think it was against the Constitution, but it's actually against the Voting Rights Act that they have passed. The Civil Rights Act. It's again because they say in there you must be a citizen. Barack needs to stay in Martha's Vineyard and continue his parties with Spielberg and Springsteen. He genes out with the whitest liberal celebrities, then pretends to care about minorities. Great comment, Bobby Massey. Thank you for joining us. It's the truth. He's an elitist. Yeah, I loved him too. I mean, I got to tell you, you got to look at the whole thing. I just didn't have time. He's really funny and he's really good. Yeah, it is fantastic. He hangs out. Yeah, we got it. Don't worry, Bobby. We our brain works like you guys type, so don't worry about it. Obama was the rainbow president. Well, he was supposed to be. Democrats say end division means give up and join us. Yeah, correct you are, but about the Democrats. I know I'm right because I've watched it happen over the years. The world's eyes has opened. That last straw was FEMA not having money for the hurricane victims. Everyone sees.
And they're saying that's not true. They're saying it's not true.
Of course, they say everything is not true when they don't like that people are repeating it. Hi, Chris Santoro. Democrats want to make us all slaves. That's exactly the truth. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. I'm worried about that too. About the voting. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. So this is good. So, they're telling us that, Kamala doesn't use a teleprompter and she's perfectly capable of, speaking on her toes. But she had a town hall meeting with Latino voters and she had translators and all those things. But watch what was caught by the cameraman without anybody recognizing it.
Crime. Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? The only question I ever ask is, are you okay? And sadly, we have seen over the last question I ever asked is, are you okay? And sadly, we have seen over the last 2 weeks since Hurricane Helene.
Did you see it?
Teleprompter.
Mm-hmm. Teleprompter. Isn't it interesting? So we've got Biden 2.0. This is.
Well, listen, her and Walz had to both have their pad and paper and write everything down as Trump and
J.D. Vance.
J.D. Vance were spewing things out.
Yeah, exactly.
So they can't even keep up.
They can't keep up. All right, I want to get to this. It's a little long, but this is 4 years ago. Okay, I had to go back 4 years because the mainstream media is hiding everything about Kamala Harris, like they hid everything about Biden. But this 4 years ago talks about Kamala Harris's record as a district attorney. So watch.
We go to San Francisco to look at Harris's record closely. Laura Bazelon is a professor at the University of San Francisco School of Law, director of the school's criminal and juvenile justice and racial justice law clinics. She wrote a New York Times op-ed last year headlined, "Kamala Harris was not a progressive prosecutor." Laura Bazelon, can you talk about your concerns that you laid out in your op-ed for the New York Times about the record of Kamala Harris as DA and Attorney General, and then we'll talk about her record as a U.S. Senator.
Sure. The concerns I laid out had to do with her embrace of policies that in some ways were regressive. So, for example, when she was Attorney General, and this was my biggest concern, her office fought tooth and nail to uphold wrongful convictions that in some cases kept innocent people in prison. And then I think towards the moment that we are today, and I admit that she's absolutely shifted on this, she did oppose bills or just stand silent on bills that would have allowed her office to investigate officer-involved shootings and mandate body-worn cameras by police officers across the state. When she was a DA, there was a large crime scandal, and rather than concede the corruption in the lab, she fought back and accused the judge of bias because her husband, a defense attorney, had spoken out against the hiding of exculpatory evidence. And while I think Ms. Solis makes important points about her marijuana record, in that she didn't send people to prison and jail as other DAs had in the past. She did prosecute almost, I think, 1,900 marijuana cases. Those folks had permanent records until they were wiped away by our past DA. And she declined to support a bill in 2016 that would have made marijuana legal, and she actively opposed the same bill that came up in 2010 while she was still DA.
Can you talk about the True Love case and other cases like that that you were so concerned about?
The Jamal True Love case was prosecuted initially when Kamala Harris was the head of the office by a prosecutor named Linda Allen. Jamal True Love was accused of murder. It was a single witness identification. The deputy DA who prosecuted him, Linda Allen, according to a unanimous appellate court, told a jury a yarn made up out of whole cloth, indicating that this witness was terrified for her life because Jamal and his family had threatened her, when none of that was true. And in fact, this witness had gotten about $65,000 to relocate based on her fantasy fear, and her identification was completely flawed and in fact false. Unfortunately, when the next district attorney took office, Linda Allen was allowed to prosecute her again. That was not under Kamala Harris. And then finally, our DA fired her mercifully.
So she made marijuana arrests that went on people's permanent records, but then she let them out on treatment programs. She has been a flip-flopper basically for her entire career as a district attorney. If you want to hear firsthand from people about who she really is, you've got to go back a couple of years. Here's another. This one is quick. This is about what was happening in San Francisco while she was DA.
If you're a drug dealer, the policy is you can't be arrested except after the third time, and they're coming in from around the Bay Area to do their drugs here?
Listen, I left the DA's office 2.5 years ago when my boss lost, and I was loyal to him. And I stayed out of politics since then. But somebody handed me an article from the legal newspaper, which I couldn't believe. This DA, Kamala Harris, floated a plan to the police department to not prosecute drug dealers until their third arrest. Now, remember, the police were not big fans of Hallinan. The police command, hearing about this, said, this is crazy. AC Transit, BART, and Samtrans will have to add extra buses and trains to bring all the drug dealers. One said, Captain Cashman said, I believe in catch and release for trout, but not for drug dealers. And it's just what you said. Word travels on the street, so drug dealers hear about this, and they flock to San Francisco, and there's a connection between that kind of rampant drug dealing and turf wars and homicides.
So she undermined.
Like Alvin Bragg.
Absolutely. She and like Gascon, who is getting his ass beat right now, just so that, in case anybody wants to know. So he's doing really, really badly, and that's a good thing. Okay, Colleen, you say he was the LGBTQ president, but I don't know. He was against gay marriage, so I don't know where that's coming
from.
Obama. Yeah, he was against gay marriage. He said marriage is between a man and a woman.
Really?
Yep. That's the only way they can cheat more is by writing things down. Yes, exactly. Obama was the start of the deviant normalcy. Hi, Mickey. Good to see you. Liars always need to take notes because they forget their lies. Good points. Gloria's with us. Hi, Gloria. People forget Jimmy and Joe served in the government together in the 1970s. They sure did. Let's see. Gotta love presidential candidate that promises things when they get in office, yet they're in office now, still not doing anything at all to assist issues like the economy, inflation, border. You're absolutely right. I invite you all to read the rest of that. It's a really long comment, and I can't see it all. She will need to be in a treatment program after the election. She should be in one now. Ask Judge Joe Brown about Kamala. Yeah, there's plenty of interviews. You got to get through it. Go to DuckDuckGo and you can find lots of stuff about Kamala out there. I bet she got kickbacks from drug programs she sent them to. 100%. 100%. Joan Rivers outed Obama. Joan Rivers was something else. We love Joan Rivers. Okay, let's see. Okay, I couldn't find anything negative in the press about Kamala, but let's watch J.D. Vance being interviewed by ABC News' Martha Ray. Right? I forget her last name. Okay, watch.
We played some other comments about migrants, including in Aurora, in Colorado, where Trump said the city had been invaded and conquered by Venezuelan gangs. The Republican mayor of the city said flatly the city and state have not been taken over or invaded or occupied by migrant gangs. So do you support Donald Trump making those claims that the Republican mayor says were grossly exaggerated and have hurt the city's identity and sense of safety? I understand what you're saying, that some people left behind, but he's making these statements that the mayor is flat out disputing.
Well, Martha, you just said the mayor said they were exaggerated.
Grossly exaggerated.
That means there's got to be some element of truth here. And of course, President Trump was actually in Aurora, Colorado, talking to people on the ground. And what we're hearing, of course, Martha, is that people are terrified by what has happened with some of these Venezuelan gangs.
Senator Vance, I'm going to stop you because I know exactly what happened.
Martha.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border. Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be. And I really find this exchange, Martha, sort of interesting because you seem to be more focused with nitpicking everything that Donald Trump has said rather than acknowledging that apartment complexes in the United States of America are being taken over by violent gangs. I worry so much more about that problem than anything else here. We've got to get American communities in a safe space again. And unfortunately, when you let people in by the millions, most of whom are unvetted, most of whom you don't know who they really are, you're going to have problems like this. Kamala Harris, 94 executive orders that undid Donald Trump's successful border policies. We knew this stuff would happen. They bragged about opening the border, and now we have the consequences, and we're living with it. We can do so much better, but frankly, we're not going to do better, Martha, unless Donald Trump calls this stuff out. I'm glad that he did.
Okay, let's just end that with they did not invade or take over the city, as Donald Trump said. I want to move on to
just a few apartment complexes. No big deal.
Just a handful of 500-unit apartment complexes.
What's a couple of apartment complexes when we're going to get new neighbors? We need new neighbors.
Just a handful.
It's okay.
Just 2,500.
It's okay. The gangs with guns, who, by the way, know how to load them and know how to shoot them, come in and take over an apartment complex. What? No, it's not.
You know why she doesn't care? Because it's not her apartment complex.
They have such Trump derangement syndrome, they can't even understand what the hell they're saying. Well,
I've never hated anybody. I just don't understand it. Like, even Kamala, like, I'll say she's pretty. You know, I won't say she's retarded. I'll say she's stupid. There's no hatred. I don't hate.
That's right. But you know what? I mean, the fact that Martha and ABC is willing to cede that those people being terrorized in that apartment complex have to be terrorized for the greater good of protecting Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Well, okay. So this is our news media, ladies and gentlemen. That is the story. The story is, Hey, remember we just heard that guy, the DA, who was an ADA before Kamala Harris became the district attorney in San Francisco, say the word on the street gets around, and so the drug dealers flock to San Francisco, and then they start having turf wars. What do you think is happening in Aurora? Okay, we're going to take over a couple of apartment buildings, and ABC is going to give us a pass.
Even if one in Staten Island was taken over, it would be on the front line of the newspapers every single day. Remember when they just tried to move into that little church?
Yeah. Exactly. But they were just migrants, and that was a shelter. These are gangs with guns. These
I'm saying.
And the mayor who's trying to protect his
is protecting his reputation and how he's handling things. That's all he's doing.
Exactly.
See, New York's mayor is a PUSSY for crying all the time. I mean, but all he does is cry about it instead of doing something about it. Like helping the governor get rid of Bragg, locking these people up, sending them back, and said he wants to whine and complain. And now look where he's standing. But this guy has, he has an ego. He doesn't want anyone to think anything's wrong where he's mayor.
So back in the day, if video emerged of people with guns breaking into an apartment complex and taking it over, an investigative reporter would speak to the mayor, and the mayor would go, "Oh, there's no problem here. What are you talking about? There's no problem."
It happens. It happened in Miami. I don't know what the mayor said there in 80.
And the investigative reporter would have gone, "Are you crazy?" And the news story would be, "The mayor is complicit in allowing gangs because they're not doing anything about it." But no, now it's like, "Oh, okay, it's just a handful. It's just a handful." There is no investigative journalism anymore. We got to get Trump. So whatever they say, as long as it's against Trump, we're going to amplify that, to save democracy. And that's your democracy. People with AK-47, AR-15s, taking a little old lady out of her house so they can live there.
There was 2 handfuls of migrants with guns on the cover of the Post today.
Oh, I know that. I know that.
2 handfuls.
It's happening in New York, but that's because it happened in Aurora and nobody did anything about it. So now, of course, it's going to happen in New York, and the NYPD can't do anything about it. They keep arresting them and they keep on letting them out. They're juveniles.
You know what I would do if I was NYPD? Sit in the car and never get out because nobody's protecting me.
Yeah, well,
you're not allowed to manhandle. You're not allowed to do any. You can't physically have an altercation with them. You're not allowed to say certain things. Your camera's on. They're gonna go to jail. Then they're gonna get out. Your name is on your chest, and then they're gonna find you because they know where your beat is.
Yeah, and that's why.
And then they're gonna kill you. So stay in your car, NYPD, because I back the blue.
And that's why every law enforcement organization has endorsed Trump. If crime was down, as Biden-Harris says, why is every law enforcement agency endorsing Trump? That doesn't make sense. Usually when you're doing a good job, law enforcement stands behind you. So again.
So wait, the IRS, they endorsed her.
Yeah, right. So the IRS endorsed her.
The Border Patrol, they didn't
Border
endorse
Patrol
anyone,
endorsed Trump.
They did? I thought they didn't endorse anyone.
No, they endorsed Trump. Just another landlord-tenant problem. Yeah, right, exactly. Mr. Rogers wouldn't like these new neighbors. No, indeed. Martha wasn't scared during the insurrection either. Yeah, really. Oh, my God. Gotta love Vance. Great choice. I've got to tell you, I
didn't like him at all in the beginning. Mm-hmm. I fell in love with him during the debate.
Yep. Where did the gangs get the guns? Gun show, right? Loopholes? Possibly. I mean, listen.
They're street guns. They're ghost guns. And that's why when all these Dems are saying they need to put a ban on guns, they're never going to put a ban on guns because all of the guns creating the problems are ghost guns.
Well,
unless you arrest these people and keep them in jail, it's never going to end.
Yeah. Okay, so here's another one that you haven't heard, I'm sure, on the news anywhere, in the print publications, but not really on ABC, NBC, CBS. Listen to Senator Josh Hawley talking to Granholm our energy secretary, about her stock purchases.
Madam Secretary, nice to see you again. When you were here last, I talked with you about the fact that more than 130 officials in the Energy Department reported more than 2,700 trades of shares, bonds, and options in companies that ethics officers said was directly related to the agency's work. This is institutionalized corruption. And I asked you point blank, do you own any individual stock? And you told me, no. Let's just look at it. It was not a difficult question. Do you own individual stocks, Madam Secretary? You said no. In fact, you repeated it 3 times to me. No, no, no. Turns out that was false. You did own multiple individual stocks, and you neglected to report it to this committee for months afterwards. Why did you mislead this committee?
Oh, my goodness.
That was exactly my response. So why did
Senator,
you mislead this committee?
I believed that I had sold all individual stocks, and I was incorrect.
What were the stocks that you owned?
It was a Ford stock that my husband had owned since he was very young, and I just was not aware of it.
And what were the others? You sold 6 stocks. What were the other 5?
I sold non-conflicting stocks.
What were they?
Honestly, I don't even know.
Before this committee a year later, after actively misleading to us, after denying and delaying and delaying, and now you won't tell us. Was one of them Proterra?
No.
You sat on the board of directors at Proterra. You made millions, CNN reports, and stock options at Proterra. Then you promoted Proterra stock and Proterra products as energy secretary. Was that one of the stocks that you sold?
This is so, I mean, really.
Was that one of the stocks that you sold? Yes,
No,
really.
no.
You were presiding over institutionalized corruption in your energy department. You have violated the Stock Act 9 separate times. You have been referred by the Inspector General for violations of the Hatch Act. It is institutionalized corruption that you are now the face of. And here's what I'm trying to figure out. I just want to know who really runs the energy department. Is it you, or is it the mega corporations whose stock that you own that you're making profits in?
Oh, my goodness.
Or maybe it's the foreign billionaires who fund your conferences. Let's try something else. Do you know the names of the foreign billionaires who fund the conferences you go to? Since you don't know the stocks, do you know the names of the foreign billionaires?
This is unbelievable to me.
Let me help you.
Mr. Chairman.
One of them is
Hans-Georg
Weiss, a Swiss billionaire who has used various dark money front
I do
groups
not know what you
to
are
funnel
talking about.
various dark money front groups to funnel foreign money into American politics. He has used the Burger Action Fund, $20 million, that then sent money to the Fund for a Better Future, that then sent money to the Climate Power Group that has funded conferences you've attended.
How dare you? My brain, it's up in a cloud. Up there, therefore. I can't remember. I can't. This is unbelievable. How dare you?
How dare you accuse me?
Accuse my hairstylist of this terrible haircut. That's what you can accuse. But no. Sounds like Adam.
Where is the news media on this? And why hasn't she been fired? 9 times she's been accused.
She's like Ferris Bueller. 9 times. She's the Ferris Bueller of politics.
But that's what's wrong with Washington, D.C. in a nutshell. The biggest problem there is the stock trading that goes on with insider information. And where is the news media? What happened to the news media wanting to get the government? When did
laziness
that stop?
happened? Laziness. They all copy each other's stories from AP. Nobody writes original pieces. Nobody asks the right questions. They don't want to be fired because they're all little pussies, and that's what happened to the media.
Jesus Christ. Our First Amendment was written for the media so that people could criticize the government because the founding fathers didn't trust the government that they set up because they knew that any government could become corrupt. And this news media doesn't even bother to check. Nope. All you got to do is watch C-SPAN, for God's sakes. They're writing your stories for you. Just tape record it, write it down, and put it out.
You do it normally, guys.
Oh, I can't. It's akin to other women yelling, "We need to save the marriage." I'm not sure. Okay. I love when the professor speaks, but this may be behind, so it may be on me. I heard guns are going into shelters by food delivery trucks.
No, they're bringing it in food delivery bags. They're bringing it in their bags.
Yeah.
Not trucks.
Yeah, that's right. They hate being called out. Oh, but where is the media? How dare you call me out when I was not prepared to lie? The news media is owned by the government. It must be. It must be.
Soros.
It must be. But here's something that I think that everybody will like. It's only a short clip. I suggest everybody watch it. But here's the judges on the Trump appeal against, for the Deutsche Bank stuff that Tish James, got him on. So watch. It's just a short clip.
Please the court. Judith Vale for the New York Attorney General's office. All of the defendants repeatedly violated.
Ms. Vale, can you identify any previous case in which the Attorney General sued under Executive Law 6312 to upset a private business transaction that was between equally sophisticated partners, where the supposed victim had the ability and legal obligation to discover the allegedly misrepresented matters by conducting its own due diligence, where the supposed wrongdoer advised the supposed victim through written disclaimers to conduct its own due diligence and to draw its own conclusions, where the alleged misrepresentation almost entirely concerned inherently subjective valuations of properties and businesses.
Yes.
And where the victim never complained about any fraud in the transactional losses from it. Because I've gone through the cases which you've cited, and all of them always involved the consumer protection aspect. It involved protection of the market.
Several responses.
And I want to add to his question, and little to no impact on the public marketplace.
Well, maybe I'll take that first, Your Honor, and work backwards. There was absolutely a public impact and a public interest here. There are at least 4 different public harms from the kind of misconduct here. First of all, when deceptively hidden risks are injected into the market, that does hurt the counterparties, and there was harm to the counterparties here, but it also harms other market participants and the market as a whole because they are not understanding the risks, they are not pricing them in properly, and they are not prepared for what might happen if the true risks come to pass. Also, as the legislature made clear in passing 6312, it was concerned with harms to the honest business people who don't do the misconduct and therefore don't get the kind of benefit that they got here.
I suppose you're referring to the fact that Trump received a lower interest rate than he might otherwise have received. But haven't you yourself conceded that the assets were sufficient to get the lower interest rate of the private wealth management direction?
Absolutely not, Your Honor. That is not conceded one bit. And
you're pointing to Ernst & Young, you're pointing to First American. Ernst & Young, you're dealing with the collapse of Lehman Brothers. First American, you're dealing with an action brought against an appraiser who overvalued properties at the behest of a lender perpetrating a scheme to induce unsophisticated consumers into taking out home loans that they could not afford. It hardly seems that justifies bringing an action to protect Deutsche Bank against President Trump, which is what you have here. I mean, you've got 2 really sophisticated parties in which no one lost any money, and that was the point of my initial question. Every case that you cite involved where there was damage to consumers, damage to the marketplace. You've got a scheme to get unsophisticated consumers to take out home loans. You got a collapse of Lehman Brothers. You don't have anything like that here.
It took me a little bit to figure out what the fuck was going on. I got it towards the end. This is for Trump. The judges are for Trump. I didn't know what was happening.
Sorry.
But at the bottom of every, when you put in your value of your home, it says, when you're the homeowner, that this is not held accountable for. The underwriter must approve this for it to be truth. So no matter what he said, the underwriter has to be, and that
has to do the due diligence.
The bank. Yeah. So
The judges were admitting, we're saying to her, "You're not showing us who was harmed." And this was only one clip. Obviously, even that was too long.
You know what? If that underwriter's so dumb, then I'm going to put them in my studio apartment. It's worth $5 million. I'm in Staten Island, and there's no Venezuelan gangs, not yet.
Right. All the media was bought by Billionaire Boys Club.
804. Shit.
Elon Musk is head of government efficiency, might clean this corruption up a bit. Yeah. Voice sounds like Neil Sedaka. Yeah. All right. We went over, just so that you know, that Afghan guy that got arrested with a plot to terrorize us on election day. By the way, they found one in France doing the same thing, and one in Germany. So we got a real problem in Europe. As I've said before, it's not just happening here. There are cells all over the place. So there you go. All right, Jenny, last word.
No.
Okay. Everybody, thank you for coming. See you next Tuesday. Bye.